Hello and welcome back to my channel. So glad you could join me here today. Today I have something a little bit different in store for you. I always strive to restore home, family, and spirit. Today I really wanted to dwell on the restoring spirit side of things. So here are some words of wisdom from a homemaker to you homemakers who are going through change and or a temporary living situation. I just want to take 1 second to interrupt this video to explain my definition of a homemaker. In my eyes, a homemaker is anyone who cultivates, manages, or nurtures within the walls of their home. So it really doesn't matter if you're working an 8 to 5 job or if you're home all day with babies. In my eyes, you're a homemaker. Some of my favorite people in my life are amazing homemakers who are amazing businesswomen at the same time. So don't listen to the world's stigma about what a perfect structured homemaker needs to look like. I think we can all be considered homemakers. Okay, back to the video. If you've been following my journey from the very beginning, you will have noticed that we did have a move. We have moved out of our original home and we are in a temporary living situation. We are living in a family cabin here in the mountains. Yes, sometimes it is quite magical when the snow is falling and you have a hot cup of cocoa in your hands and the kids are sledding outside. It is wonderful. When we started out here, we were living with family. It's not a huge cabin, and they went south for the winter, and the winter's just about over, which means we need to get out of the space that we have kind of taken over during the winter and go back up into the loft with our 3 kids. So as a homemaker, it's interesting. Not only are we living in a temporary situation, but we're living in somebody else's home, and that changes the dynamics for the homemaker big time, and something that I had to figure out how to work with and how to still be a homemaker and feel comfortable making a home for my family, caring for my family, cleaning, cooking, all those wonderful things that come with homemaking, but in somebody else's home and in somebody else's space. So I wanted to share some of the things that I've learned through my situation thus far with you today in hopes that it will uplift, motivate, help you. We're at whatever stage of life that you are in right now. So I'm here to tell you, homemaker, that you still have a purpose. And even though you cannot control the world around you or even the circumstances that you may be in, you are valued and you are needed wherever you are. You are still loved. And you were made to do great things. You were made by a being and a creator who can see the beginning to the end, even though you cannot. And there is something that you can, in fact, control, or that you have control over, and that is yourself, and that is your little world. You are still, in fact, a homemaker, and you are needed. There is always time for nurturing, loving, and caring for the people in your little world. So although your life may be inconsistent at the time, there are some things that will always be consistent and always the same. Your role as a homemaker. Some things that I have found particularly helpful in times of change are looking to those in your most trusted circle of friends and loved ones and holding them close, pulling them into that circle of trust, sharing those experiences with them, and really leaning on them for your support and love. And those who are not in your circle of trust, it's okay to not tell them everything. It's okay to let them fall by the wayside even for a little bit. You don't need to share all of your adventures and everything that you're going through. Let them wait. Let it be a surprise. Keep them wondering. That's okay. Another thing I've learned is to let go of the things that you cannot contain or the things that are out of your control. Don't put too much on your plate at one time. If you are falling behind with some of the other tasks or the extra things in your life, let them fall by the wayside. I think as human beings, when we're under some sort of stress, it's all we can do to function normally and just keep up, kind of in that survival mode. So focus on the things that are most important, the people that are most important, and your tasks that are most vital for your family to function and be happy. And the rest that doesn't matter so much, let it fall by the wayside. And I promise there'll be a time when you feel more comfortable that you can pick those things up again. The third and last thing I wanted to share is to put your hands to something. I found this extremely helpful when I was feeling out of sorts or feeling like I didn't know how to be a homemaker in someone else's space, in someone else's home, or I just felt like my world was spinning out of control. Putting your hands to something means picking up a new hobby, picking up something that makes you feel creative, something that brings you joy, keeps your hands busy, keeps your mind busy, and makes you feel like you are being productive and that you are, in a sense, putting your shoulder to the wheel, pushing along, pushing forward, and making a difference still. For me, that was making sourdough bread, learning how to have a sourdough. I decided new change, new place, new sourdough starter. That was my thing. So I think as homemakers, there's always something new that we maybe want to do. Maybe there's something that you've been wanting to pick up. Maybe it's pottery. Maybe it's sewing. I think that picking up a creative task, something that's not a burden to you or overwhelming, can be a beautiful, wonderful, creative outlet and keeps you a little bit busy, especially if you're in a holding pattern, waiting for the storms of life to die down and calm down. It has calmed my heart and my troubled mind in those times. So though you may be waiting for your storm to pass, you may be waiting on the Lord, don't wait on making a home wherever you are. Wherever you are in your journey, whether it be tempest-tossed or a lily being transplanted to a new flower bed, or maybe a bulb waiting to emerge, remember that you are in the hands of the Maker. And in time, you will blossom and bloom in the right place at the right time. Thanks so much for joining me here today. Change is upon us and our family personally. There are exciting things coming. We have some exciting news that I hope to share with you sometime in the near future. So please stay tuned, watch a few videos, stay motivated, and I'll catch you next time. Love you lots.